The success is not just what we see. True insight comes not from studying the survivors, but from understanding why others didn't survive. The most dangerous decisions are those based on the visible evidence alone. Wisdom lies in questioning what remains unseen. The best decisions are made not just with the data we have, but with full awareness of the data we're missing. How did the World War II bomber analysis become a classic example of how focusing only on surviving data can lead to incorrect conclusions, highlighting that success is not just what we see? By revealing that the most critical insights often lie in the unseen failures, it underscored the importance of considering both visible and invisible factors in decision-making. During World War II, 1939 to 1945, the United States military faced a critical problem. Too many bombers were being shot down during missions over enemy territory. The survival rate of bomber crews was alarmingly low, and the military needed to find a way to better protect their aircraft, determining where to add armor to bombers to increase survival rates. Initial analysis focused on damage patterns observed on returning aircraft. The military began studying the bombers that returned from missions. They carefully documented where these planes had been hit by enemy fire. They created detailed maps showing the distribution of bullet holes across the aircraft. The damage patterns showed heavy concentration of hits on wings, tail section, fuselage, main body. Based on this data, military officers initially concluded that they should add extra armor to the areas showing the most damage, assuming these were the most vulnerable parts of the aircraft. They thought, let's add armor where we see the most bullet holes, on the wings and tail. This seemed logical, right? Abraham Wald, a Jewish-Hungarian mathematician who had fled Nazi persecution, was working for the Statistical Research Group, SRG, at Columbia University. When presented with this problem, he immediately spotted a crucial flaw in the military's reasoning. He realized something crucial. They were only looking at planes that made it back home. If planes could make it back with lots of holes in their wings, those areas weren't critical. The reason they weren't seeing bullet holes in the engine and cockpit was because planes hit in these areas crashed and never made it back. The places with no bullet holes on surviving planes were actually the most important areas to protect. Wald pointed out what became known as survivorship bias. Wald identified that the areas showing minimal damage on returning aircraft were engine compartments, cockpit, control systems. These were the vital areas that, when hit, caused planes to crash. The planes that took hits in these areas simply never returned to be studied. Based on Wald's analysis, the military added armor to areas showing the least damage on returning planes, left relatively unprotected the areas showing the most damage. This counterintuitive approach proved much more effective. How did examining the missing evidence, the planes that never returned, revolutionize the military's approach to aircraft armor placement? How does the bomber analysis demonstrate the importance of considering missing data when making strategic decisions? The analysis that significantly improved bomber survival rates not only saved countless lives and valuable aircraft, but also transformed military strategy for aircraft protection. Scientifically, it highlighted the critical importance of considering missing data, laying the groundwork for selection bias analysis and influencing modern statistical methodology. This historical example continues to teach valuable lessons about the importance of looking beyond obvious solutions and considering all available evidence, not just the most visible data points. Culturally, it became a classic example of counterintuitive problem-solving, frequently used in statistics education, data science training, and business decision-making courses. This lesson is widely applicable across various fields, such as business, medicine, and education, where focusing solely on successes can lead to misleading conclusions. It's important to think about the missing information to make better decisions. How does this case demonstrate the importance of examining all evidence, not just visible data? And why is it a valuable lesson across different fields? How does it challenge typical problem-solving approaches? How did considering invisible data lead to better solutions? The hidden reality behind success stories. The entrepreneur phenomenon perfectly captures how survivorship bias clouds our judgment. While we're bombarded with stories of "I quit my job and made millions" through social media, we rarely hear about the thousands who depleted their savings and returned to traditional employment. This selective storytelling creates a dangerously incomplete picture of entrepreneurial reality. Stories about college dropouts becoming tech billionaires make it seem like this is a common path to success. However, this viewpoint overlooks millions of dropouts struggling with student debt and limited career options. The truth is, these tech giants became successful not because they dropped out, but despite it. They had special advantages, like coming from wealthy families and having unique opportunities that most people don't get. Claims like, "I lost 30 pounds in 30 days," grab attention, but often hide countless stories of failed attempts and health complications. Sustainable fitness transformations usually involve consistent effort, proper nutrition, and personalized approaches, rather than miracle solutions that worked for a select few. When someone offers a guaranteed path to success, dig deeper with these three questions. How many people have tried this method? What happened to those who didn't succeed? What external factors or privileges might have influenced the outcomes? The music industry exemplifies this perfectly. While some artists achieve stardom, thousands of equally talented musicians never break through. This suggests pursuing musical dreams with realistic expectations and practical backup plans. Success stories inspire us, but understanding failure patterns protects us. The best decisions come from seeing the complete picture, not just the highlight reel. Success and survival need both winners and losers to tell the full story. Looking only at what worked misses important lessons from what failed. Good decisions consider both what we can see and what might be hidden. Smart choices balance what we know with what we might be missing. Success isn't one size fits all. It's a mix of staying alive and being true to who you are. What looks like failure in one situation might be the right path in another. Abraham Wald's work laid the foundation for modern statistical methods that account for missing data and selection bias. His analysis remains a powerful lesson in critical thinking and the importance of questioning initial assumptions. The example highlights a common cognitive bias where people focus on visible successes and ignore unseen failures, leading to overly optimistic conclusions. The key message is, look at what's missing, not just what's there. Sometimes the most important information comes from what you can't see. This story shows how thinking differently and questioning obvious solutions can lead to much better results. It's a perfect example of why we should always consider what we might be missing, not just what we can see right in front of us. As we move from guessing to understanding, we should ask, if we only focus on successes, could uncovering survivorship bias be a key insight that we've been missing, enabling us to make better decisions?